Alrighty. Howdy ho, folks. Multiversal Medium here for another episode of Dread Delusion. Last time we left off, we made it up to this woman's isolation tower where she has a bunch of racy smut in her bedroom. This episode, we're going to have her probably tinker around in our head. The stout aging machinist looks surprised to see you. What? How'd you get inside? Get out of here right now. My security will fry you to a crisp. You let me in? I'm the official door lock inspector. You failed. You failed. She narrows her eyes at you. You're a real wise ass, ain't ya? Why don't you try inspecting this? She slams a button on her machine console. Something in the ceiling sparks, then begins to smoke. Oh, son of a god. Just fixed that last week. What the hell do you want? I'll have you know I'm in the middle of some very important work. You notice a cheaply bound romance, open spine up, beside her, plus stacks of dirty plates and half-empty teacups. She is just isolating in this tower and reading smut. Nice. Here's your parcel. The courier didn't make it. Can I ask some questions, or I'll leave you to your, work. Can I ask you some questions? Doesn't seem like I can stop you. What do you want to know? I like how I'm just a nuisance and everyone just admits it. It's like, yeah, you're kind of bugging me with these questions, huh? Tell me more about yourself. What are you doing all the way out here? Or that's all my questions. Tell me more about yourself. My name's Morozov. I'm a cranial engineer, which means I know how to jam a bunch of clockwork into your brain without turning you into a prize cabbage. As if that weren't talent enough, I'm also one of this kingdom's most prolific dreamers. If you've ever tried a bottled vision, chances are you've sampled the fruit of this crafty old noggin. She knocks on the side of her head. So you're involved in the vision trade. Involved? I practically keep it in business. I sell a lot of visions, but I buy too. You might call me a connoisseur. You gotta know good art to make good art, right? I mean, arguably yes, but kind of like a, whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the fact that it's low-key drugs. Vision trade's about the only business we got left in this kingdom, and it ain't hard to see why. Folk outside the kingdom go crazy for it too. Guess however bad things get, our dreams are still worth something. Yeah, but at what point are you only focusing on the dreams and not focusing on bettering the reality, man? What else do you want to know? What are you doing all the way out here, besides reading smut? I saw all this coming, The winter, the corruption, all of it. Or close enough. Didn't take a genius to see things would get bad. It's all there in the royal output logs. Not to mention, right before your eyes. So I made a big noise about needing peace and quiet for my work. What can I say? Your girl's a drama queen. Guild gave me this tower, and here I am, in blessed isolation. At least until some galoot like you shows up. You're remarkably frank about the kingdom's problems. She grins toothily. A rare quality, ain't it? But what are they gonna do? Hang me? And who will keep their own skulls ticking away and fix up the new recruits? Guild loves to eat its own, but all the other cranial engineers got eaten long ago. Go ahead, report me. They love to shoot the messenger too. What else do you want to know? That's all my questions. Listen, darling, you didn't ask, but take it from me. The Clockwork Kingdom is doomed. If you're smart, you'll do as I do. Find a safe place to hole up and stay put till it comes crashing down. You truly think there's no hope? Or thanks for the tip, I suppose. You truly think there's no hope? Oh yes, you can always hope, darling. Be my guest. We're done here, darling? I ain't got all day. Or night. What time is it again? I like you. Anyways, here's this parcel. The courier didn't make it. She snatches the parcel with alarming speed and tears it open, revealing a clutch of bottled visions. Oh, well, if it ain't the latest Metacalf, come to mama. She seems to remember your presence. Why are you still here? It's something about Cohen? I need a machinist skull implant so I can speak to the corrupted. I'm searching for a child nobody can remember. Searching for a child nobody can remember. I mean, the implants kind of like a means to an end. Morozov listens to your tale with escalating incredulity. Incredulity? Yeah, with escalating incredulity and frequent interjections. Say what? Get the F out of here. Are you serious? Once you're finished, she laughs. Darling, how can I put this kindly? You're nuts. Absolutely, certifiably, bats in the belfry, 6 teeth short of a cogwheel, over the rainbow, doolally. Doolally? Whatever. You want me to misappropriate royal resources to perform a strictly regulated techno-surgical procedure on an unsanctioned stranger who ain't part of the Machinist Guild. Also, you can trace one poor missing F? Yes. I'll do whatever's necessary to reach the truth. When you put it like that, it does sound a little mad. Yes. She cackles. I love it. I must have installed these implants into 100 of those damn fool kids. And for what? All so they can spend the rest of their lives bossing people around and suckling on the king's copper tit. I promise you I won't be doing that. Wait, does the king actually have... Morozov ignores you as she begins gathering up books, notes, and alarming-looking medical instruments. Now listen, sweetheart. Getting your brain to accept a big hunk of gears as part of itself ain't exactly a cakewalk. I need a slice of your meat that's got deep connection to all the rest. I mean, I feel like all of my meat's kind of connected to all the rest. Pick a person, someone you really cherished. See someone that made you who you are. You're gonna forget them. And I'll stick the cranial moderator in their place. It'll be as dear to you as they were. Oh. Well, I can't really remember my family. And I don't really have friends. Hey, I like you a lot. Don't tell me about them. I don't care. Just think of them. Say your goodbyes. Forget your parents. You've given up trying to make them understand. Forget your first love. You needn't carry that heartbreak anymore. Forget your best friend. It hurts to think how far apart you've grown. Forget your mentor. You still feel the sting of their disappointment. Actually, I don't think I can do this. I feel bad about all these, like, definitely not the mentor, because even though they're disappointed in you, a mentor figure is someone who helps you grow. I'd argue the same for parents, depending on your parents. Some parents don't deserve the title, and people would argue with me for that, but family is, in my mind, is always someone who showcases the quality of a family member as opposed to being related by blood, but we don't know that. First love is how you base relationships and growing from them. It can be redone though. Your best friend, we've grown apart, but that doesn't mean we can't grow back. I can go like, I think I've gone like a year or so without hanging out with my best friend or whatever. And the second we hung out again, it just instantly picked back up. I'm going to say first love. Yeah, okay. Like, it even says it was heartbreak or whatever, so it wasn't a very sweet love, it was bitter. That's right, just like that. Come to mama. You fall into a black and timeless place. When you come to, your head feels heavier than before. Stupid thing, where'd I leave it? Well, hey now, look who's awake. How you doing, sweetheart? Ah, blur, blur. I like blurg. True words were never spoken, hon. Well, seems the moderator went in nice and smooth. Congratulations. You're part machine. Oh, cool. What can I do now that it's installed? Are there any drawbacks? Thanks, I guess we're done. What can I do now that it's installed? Now you can understand the six-fold cipher language of our glorious king. Read it, write it, speak it, hear it, or shove it up your ass for all I care. That's about right. All make sense to you? Are there any drawbacks? Oh, sure. Watch out for migraines, seizures, deafness, blindness, aneurysms, nightmares, prophetic dreams, mental decline, partial or total amnesia, paranoia, delusions of being dead, religious ecstasy and or agony, and out-of-body experiences, White Cliff's idiocy, gangrene. You'll want to come in for a checkup every few years. Some of those metals are a little toxic. Worst of all, whenever someone has a problem with the king's magic, They'll ask you to fix it. I should have farmed silk slugs. Yeah. All makes sense to you? Not really, but thanks, I guess we're done here. Don't mention it, darling. No, really, don't. In fact, leave my tower and don't speak to me again. Nothing personal, but I got a hot date with a cheese wheel I've been saving. You're a degenerate. I like you. I hope you're very happy together. How could you not love a character like that? Anyways. Actually, degeneracy. That reminds me. I just checked, like, some stuff in between episodes, and, like, it was just announced that the Pokemon Company, with their online store, the Pokemon Center, are going to release, like, a life-sized plush of Gardevoir. Which, for those of you that don't know, because you're blessed, and please ignore the rest of this thought process because you are blessed, and you do not need to know what I'm about to say. People are degenerates, especially with Pokemon like Gardevoir, who look vaguely human-shaped. Like any Pokemon that's vaguely human-shaped, they are really... really bad about that, actually. And well, with that in mind, and how bad the degenerates were during the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic era of internet degeneracy, and what they would do to those plush dolls. Listen, a lot of those Gardevoirs are not going to good homes, is all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. And, well, I mean, they are just, you know, stuffies at the end of the day, but listen, man, that's not okay. I feel for them. Or at least as much as I could feel for a doll, basically, that's not anyways living like in Toy Story. It's like seeing a horribly mangled like toy on the side of the road that was obviously like smashed to bits by someone who didn't care. I feel like that's what their fate is going to be, but a lot worse in a lot of a different way. And I feel bad. Because usually when it comes to toys, a lot of people, it depends on where the toy is coming from, but I'm going to assume the person who designed how this toy was made put a lot of care into it and actually cared about it. Some of the people working on making the toy or getting that toy out the door and shipped out do care to a degree, thinking it's going to go to a kid and make them happy. To a degree. No, that's not going to be happening with the Gardevoir ones. And, yeah. Listen, I've gone on record a lot that you can have your preferences as long as it ain't hurting anyone. That's fun and all, it's just... I know where this is going, and we're going to hear some story somewhere about it, and I don't exactly like that. Oh, hey, what's up? The clerk trills in a sing-song voice that she's clearly practiced hundreds of times. Hello, citizen, and welcome to the Royal Vision Works. Are you here for yourself or on behalf of someone else? Myself? Someone else? Actually, I'm just leaving. Someone else. Lovely. Now I must inform you that we can't sign a contract without meeting the candidate in person or examining them if they're medically incapable, but I'm happy to walk you through the details. We have a number of positions open, with contracts ranging from 3 clockwork standard months to 12 years. How long were you thinking of staying? How long is a clockwork standard month again? Sorry, what exactly are we talking about? Never mind all that. I need to see Dr. Prep. How long is a clockwork standard month again? She chuckles. Don't worry, you're not the first to ask. Lots of older folks still have trouble with the calendar. A clockwork month has 60 days, counting day 0, of course. Oh yeah, sixfold. Sorry, what exactly are we talking about? Why, becoming a vision worker. That is what you're here for, isn't it? All our workers are provided room and board, along with top-notch medical care for the illustrious Dr. Prip. Half the proceeds of their works are retained by the institution, and the other half is theirs to keep. Uh-huh. You can have the money paid out twice monthly to a designated beneficiary, or held safely for you until your contract ends. And of course, all your work will be properly credited under your own name. Would you like to read through some example contracts or try a sample of our patented sleeping drought? I'm not here to talk about being a worker. Look, pretend I'm a child. What is this place? Actually, I'm here to see Dr. Prep. No samples for me just now, thank you. Okay, pretend I'm a child. What is this place? Well, like I said, it's the Royal Vision Works. We make bottled visions. The clerk smiles coldly. If you're not here for any particular reason, I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't really have time for idle hobnobbing. Oh yeah, you gotta get back to your smut. Got it. I'm not here to talk about becoming a worker. She blinks. Oh, and are you here to see someone? I'm afraid I can only admit direct kin, or people named in the worker's directive letter. Actually, I'm here to see Dr. Prip. I'm sorry, Dr. Prip is extremely busy at present, and is only seeing visitors by appointment. Can I help you with anything else? Ma'am, I'm afraid there's been a complaint. I need to see Prip personally. A complaint? From whom? Sorry, who are you exactly? Charm. I'm with the DRB, ma'am. Now, I'm not at liberty to name the complainant, but we have a duty to take this seriously. Only needed a 40? Yeah. The receptionist blinks, caught off balance by your aura of unwavering bureaucratic assurance. Yeah, I grew up in the Apostatic Union. What of it? The DRB? What does that mean? I've never heard of the Dream Regulation Board, ma'am. I totally didn't make that up myself. We're a branch of the Royal Factor's office. Well, technically we're part of the militia, but do I look like I could swing a sword? As I'm holding a sword right now. Anyway, well, this is very irregular. Do you have any proof of your... Flash a piece of paper too quickly for her to examine. I love this. Sure do, ma'am. Now, this morning, the factor tells me I gotta talk to Prip and only Prip. Gertrude, I tells her. Excuse me, can I see that paper? Wait, who's Gertrude? Dude, this is... I love this. So, one of my teachers in school gave me a nice little life lesson that, you don't always need to live by it, but it's good to live by to a degree. Especially when interacting with people you really wouldn't want to. Astound them with your genius, or baffle them with your bullshit. Gertrude, I says. That's her name, see? Though she's very private about it, so don't spread it around. Gertrude, they ain't gonna let me see him. And she says, so what? Then we kick it up to the guild, and it's not our problem. The clerk looks perturbed. Sorry, did you say the guild of machinists is involved in this? Could be, ma'am. See, first it goes through our office, and if we can't make progress, we petition the king. Then the king sends the militia, and if... What a mess those boys make. So I says, Gertrude... The receptionist is now practically panicking. I love this. Yes, all right. Please proceed upstairs to the top floor. Dr. Prip will see you immediately. Yeah, I knew I wore my good hat for a reason. Hey, so there's 2 doors. Which one is it? Whatever. I'll just go through both. Oh, wait, this one's locked. One of the doors is locked. I can't go through it. Can't get any service in here. Oh, I'm curious how to get in there now. Actually, can we enter from like the outside, and that's how we would have gotten in if we couldn't like BS our way through? Is that what's going on? Because it's locked from the other side. Yeah, there's something along those lines, huh? Door is locked by an unseen thingamabob. Means there's a mechanism somewhere. A mechanical mechanism of machinations. Hey. Something has changed. Much like a gate or a grate slowly rising. Hey, what's up? Ooh, piece candy. Ooh, piece candy. Oh, hey. Don't worry, I found out how to go through the door. You just had to go through the back. Why do you keep that locked? Like, seriously, like, this leads nowhere. I'm assuming it's low-key, like, a storage thing. But basically, they had to come through here, bar the door, go down, and then exit through the grate, and then go close the grate. It is such backwards logic that I love it. So game designy. Anyways, oh wow, you do have a lot of beds. Wow. Cool. This slumbering citizen is clawing at the air with an expression of wonder on their face. Oh. This slumbering citizen is murmuring softly to themselves. You can't make out what they're saying, if indeed they are any words at all. This is some dystopian stuff. The slumbering citizen is snoring like a beehive, without any outward sign of inner activity. This slumbering citizen is tossing and turning in the throes of some awful phantasm. Her brow is creased with worry and fear. Oh. This slumbering citizen has an expression of contentment upon their face. A good dream, hopefully. Cool. This citizen's eyes are half open and their pupils swing to meet yours. Where am I? Honestly, I'm not really sure. You're in the Royal Vision Works. Don't worry, this is only a dream. I'm not gonna do that to him, that's mean. You're in the Royal Vision Works. Oh yeah, so I am. That's a relief. Listen, is Mandip alright? I want to make sure she got the money. She's doing well. You smile and close her eyes. Good, that's good. Tell her, remember what you told her. I'm gonna see her soon. Yeah, man. Cool. Who the fuck was he talking about? Anyways. The slumbering citizen is snoring like a beehive. Yeah. Okay, and that dude I think's walking around. Slumbering citizen addresses you with startling cognizance. Through their eyes remain closed. The engine. You need to start the engine. I can't do it myself. Sure, where do I find it? Bring a carriage beetle with you to hold the sarcophagus. The weevils are waiting for you inside. They're friendly, but you mustn't insult their intelligence. I'll do my very best. They smile to themselves. Bring back a palanquin from the land of Nod. They'll give you a medal for crinkling quietly. Oh yeah, I'm not really good at crinkling quietly, but I'll try my best. Anyways, not for nothing, but my fiance does occasionally sleepwalk and talk, so I'm kind of used to that. The technician is watching one of the sleepers with a pensive expression on their face. You know, sometimes I wonder what they're going through. Must be amazing in its way. From the outside, it looks like they're snoozing as soundly as a baby, giving gin to keep it quiet. Oh, it's gin. Giving gin. Yeah, classic way to deal with a teething baby. Just dip your thumb or your finger in a bit of whiskey and rub it on their gums. And then the baby goes to sleep. But inside, they're living lives we can barely imagine, full of wonder and terror. Haven't you tried one of their visions? I'll leave you to your work. Haven't you tried one of their visions? Me? Oh no, I never touched the stuff. My friends think I'm weird, but maybe they'd feel the same after working here. Yeah, don't learn how the hot dogs are made, right? Sorry, mate. No time to chat. I have a lot of bedpans to empty and clean before the end of my shift, and the vegetables aren't about to lend a hand. Please be nicer to them, please. Like, not for nothing, but... Dude, it's your livelihood too. Just be nice to them. Like, if you get into any field where you're a caretaker, you gotta have the empathy for the individual that needs taken care of. You can't just be cruel about it. If you don't have the empathy to be in that field, don't be in that field. Please, it's not fair to some individuals that can't take care of themselves to have someone who's spiteful and aggressive and petty when taking care of them, okay? Just saying. But oh wow, you too have the D20 of the world map globe. I love that. Oh hey, cool. Actually, really nice design. I like that. Let's see here. Wow, what a great tower of. Well, so do you sleep with the other people in like the room downstairs or what? Like, not for nothing, but yeah, I guess this is a comfy chair. I suppose that would work. Whatever. A smell of jasmine lingers around this excessively well-kept man. Little round spectacles frame his cadaverous face, and a neatly trimmed mustache nestles on his top lip. Well, well, there's something one doesn't see every day. A mystery visitor. I know all the names and faces of my workers and regular visitors, so I would warrant you're here to see me. It gives you a small but theatrical bow. Dr. Karl von Pripp at your service. Physician, vision right, and appointed steward of all the industrious dreamers who serve here. So what brings you to the Royal Vision Works today? Draw your weapon. This place is sick. I'm here to liberate your workers. What is this place? It looks like a hospital, but it feels like a prison. I'm here on behalf of a woman who can't wake up. Like, my weapon's already drawn. I'm not gonna say that. That's... Listen, as bad as it may look down there, if he's fully following through with the contracts and stuff they signed and they're getting paid to and they are allowed to leave, so on and so forth, it is a form of work. I think even in our modern day, there have been scientists who will pay and basically for you, what was it? I think it was a study to decide how the body works with extended not standing upright in order for basically to see how that might affect people in space. And basically what the study would have been was you needed to stay in bed for a year. You could not get out of the bed. You could not stand up. You could not, like, any of that. And yeah, obviously you'd get paid for that, so on and so forth. So depending on how this is being handled, it's not inherently bad. It looks dystopian from the outside. It honestly does. But I could look anywhere in this realm and it will look dystopian. If this is being handled pretty well, it isn't inherently bad and arguably a decent place of employment, depending. What is this place? It looks like a hospital, but it feels more like a prison. Prison? On the contrary, most of the workers come here of their own free will. The rest are far past the point of making their own decisions. Some come from desperate circumstances and wish to lift their relatives out of a financial hole. Others are working to furnish their own future. Occasionally, a delinquent debtor will be given the choice of coming here instead of being gowled. Gowled? I don't know that word. I'm gonna look it up. I like looking up words on this. Hold up. Pause my timer so in case I need to edit out a long time because I go down a really deep rabbit hole, which, let's be honest, that's not what's gonna happen. Let's see here. G-A-O-L-E-D. Definition. I like learning things. Put someone in jail. It's basically just jailed. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's just a different way of saying jailed. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, for an area with a different dialect that occasionally peeks through, that's fine. It's in some of my series, I feel like, oh, they really had to dig deep in a thesaurus to find that one, huh? Like, why did you not just say this one thing? Because that's way too much. I think I pointed that out multiple times in Harvestella. It depends if that kind of dialect is a bit more world built. And let's be honest, Dread Delusion's good at world building. A rare few of them are, to be blunt, simply tired of life. I hope my detractors would agree that my pendant Eversleep elixir is far preferable. I mean, possibly. And what does the royal part mean? I see, let me ask you something else. And what does the royal part mean? We enjoy the letter patent from our glorious Clockwork King, which gives us legal monopoly on exporting bottled visions outside of the kingdom. Separately, I am chairman of the Honoric Oversight Committee, which regulates the vision trade, licenses vision rights, and ensures that bottles hazardous to public morals are taken off the shelves. Public morals, okay. It is a duty that I take exceedingly seriously. How else can I be of service? I'm here on behalf of a woman who can't wake up. Dr. Pripp listens to your tale with a studious dispassion, his brows slightly furrowed. It's a most unfortunate case. Alas, it is also a familiar one. Would you like the good news first, or the bad news? Don't play games with me, can you help or not? The bad news. The good news. Yeah, let's start with the bad. The bad news is that there is no known cure for chronic aneurysm once it advances to such a late stage. Naturally, there is a major avenue of my research, but in my professional opinion, it is unlikely to bear fruit for at least a decade. The good news is that I can offer at least 2 solutions to the poor girl's predicament. Her mother may not like them, but I am a doctor, not a minor god. The simplest option is for Naja to join our happy crew. Many of our workers are chronic cases like her, and I can assure you they are comfortable and well taken care of. Her mother would share in the profits while being relieved of the burdens of caring for her, and could visit regularly during our open hours. Naturally, we would also pay you a finder's fee. Alternatively, Yasmin could buy her own vision siphon, also known as a dream crown. I believe the current price is 120 coins. Including permit fees, this would enable her to support Naja at home by bottling and selling her visions independently. You can't be serious. Tell me more about Naja becoming one of your workers. Tell me more about Yasmin buying a dream crown. Very well, I'll see what Yasmin thinks. You can't be serious. Look around you. Does it seem to you as if I'm joking? Naja and Yasmin are not the first to suffer this predicament, and I'm afraid they will not be the last. Let me get this straight. Bottled visions make people sick. And then you use those people to make more bottled visions? I must correct you on one point. Only a very small percentage of vision imbibers suffer from chronic aneurysm, and invariably we find that they have a history of excessive use. The label does warn you against that, you know. Legally, you're in the right. Morally, you're in the wrong. Any other questions? Tell me more about Naja becoming one of your workers. Chronic aneurists. Aneuronists? Listen, I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm going to say honorists. Are an interesting cohort. For all their outward lethargy, their imaginations remain superbly active, which is to say, profitable. Here at the Works, we can bottle their visions en masse, using cutting-edge equipment, and we enjoy good relationships and very favorable rates with both domestic and foreign distributors. Okay, listen, man, I wouldn't be against her being brought here if you're using it to study how to cure it. We also host a weekly support group for family members of chronic aneurists, which Yasmin would be welcome to attend. Any other questions? Like 100%. If you're using it to, like, having these people come here and you're studying a means of curing it, I'd be all for bringing her here. There's a support group. You're paying the family members so that they can be studied and stuff. But no, you're only looking at it from a profit standpoint. Yeah, they dream very vividly and you're bottling it and selling it. No, you're not looking for a cure. Of course it's going to take over a decade. You're not doing anything about it. Tell me more about Yasmin buying a dream crown. If memory serves, she could buy one at Fidel's shop. She would need a permit, but since I chair the body that approves said permits, that won't be a problem. I must caution you that without the benefit of our extensive distribution network and our royal monopoly on exports, this option would inevitably be less lucrative for Yasmin. On the other hand, with practice, Yasmin could learn to capture her own dreams and administer them to Naja, potentially permitting a form of bi-directional communication between the pair. Okay, hold up. So you've studied to that point, and you have chronic honorists like here, as well as a support network for the family members. Are you letting the family members do that as well? Any other questions? What I just asked, but very well, I'll have to see what Yasmin thinks or whatever. Why don't you take one of our standard contracts for her to read through? A pre-stamped 0th class royal post envelope is included in the package. Like, I know they count 0 as part of their 6-fold stuff. Okay. 0th class royal post envelope. It just feels weird to see and say. If Yasmin accepts our offer, I shall leave your finder's fee with Vidal, the vision trader in Ferropolis. Thanks, I suppose, or throw the contract in back his face. Okay, it is... I'm not wrong in mispronouncing it. It's just 2 words need to be flipped. It's supposed to be throw the contract back in his face, not throw the contract in back his face. Shove it up your arse, Brip. It's not my choice either way. So I'm going to say thanks, I suppose. Remember, this is not a decision that should be taken lightly. I encourage Yasmin to take all the time she wishes. Like, it's not my decision to make, so I'm not going to toss away the contract. Ultimately, I'd be all for it, maybe even willing to persuade towards her coming here. If he was doing proper studies on how to cure it, basically. I wouldn't be against that. But that's not what he's doing. He's just outright stated, yeah, I'm just going to be mainly making a profit off it. And it's like, dude, you're the one that made this new tech. Shouldn't you be studying various avenues of how it's affecting other people, as well as coming up with safeguards against possible issues with such? Is tree just floating, or... Okay, I think it was just from a weird angle. Yeah, you can't see under the tree at any point. Okay. Just with how the textures were, I was like, is that tree actually just off the ground, technically? Whatever. Yeah, if he was properly, like, oh, that's another case. If you bring her here, we're going to study on how to cure it. We aren't making a lot of headway, but every patient offers new insights into how this illness and stuff works. At that point, I would be all for sending her there. I really, really would. It's not what he's doing. That being said, like I said, it is Yasmin, the mother's choice. Because caretaker fatigue is a very, very valid thing. It is very difficult to be a caretaker, especially for loved ones. I think arguably more so for loved ones than just as a career choice. It's difficult as a career choice even, but for loved ones, like it can arguably be a lot worse. Watching someone you deeply, deeply care for waste away, and you're just the one keeping them going as they do so. It is not easy. That's why during the one moment of the dude like calling them like vegetables or whatever, I got genuinely upset. Like, they don't deserve that kind of mindset for them. But yes, being a caretaker can breed contempt. It can breed disdain towards the individual you're also caretaking, because you're constantly taking care of them. So if the mother decides, like, yeah, I can't keep taking care of her, she should have the access to the contract for people that can. Anyways, let's talk to these two. You feel the clockwork in your skull grind into furious motion as it translates the corrupted one's speech. Give us this day our drifting motes. Forgive us our small umbrages, as we forgive Miss Barker of 37 Crundle Road. Progress, nothing, nowhere, no one. Chimera. What did he mean by it? It's Strixburg is falling down, falling down, falling down. You can't see any indication that this is Oleg's child. You feel the clockwork in your skull grind into furious motion as it translates the corrupted one's speech. I am so curious if this is a proper translation of what they were saying earlier or not. Because like I said, you can decipher what the heck that stuff was. Amble neatly into violet. Cua? Rification. Instill, reprieve, instill. Longing. Softly tales of the minor gods and dancing cup and rain streaks. Give us a sign, O nurturing earth. Qua, qua, qua. Confession. We were so young. You can't see any indication this is Oleg's child. You feel the clockwork in your skull grind into furious motion as it translates the corrupted one's speech. Beginning at the end, for want of finitude, aporia, only the facts if you please. Alas, Threshing Engine 3 cannot be saved. Why won't you listen? In catatonic bustle bound and round, congratulations, you have been accepted. Away, haul away, we'll haul away together into Royal Project Horoscope. Alas, Threshing Engine 3 has suffered yearning unbefitting of its station. Bastards, useless effing bastards. Edict, no one listens. Show it Oleg's locket. Do you recognize this? Show it Oleg's locket. Your father sent me. I'm here to help. It stares at the locket as if hypnotized. Limerence. Ha. The corrupted one becomes visibly agitated in its movements and speech. Edict, stop slouching. Water trickling gently through the park. Please listen. Alas. Fulton status check. Unlatch. Receipt. He loves you, dearie, even if he doesn't show it. Alas. Cannot exist. Subject. Series of numbers. Thy petition is hereby granted. Please listen. Entreaty. We are sorry to inform. Can you tell me your name? This is pointless. What happened to you? Denied and thrice denied. Attention all workers. This is a disaster warning. I kept meaning to write before only. Petition. So then hang thyself. Unlatch. Receipt. Alas. In accordance with Project Horoscope parameters, please listen. Can you tell me your name? Dear Pa, I am writing to tell you. Clean each crystal head thrice daily until record of fault. Help us. We are lost. And enclose this locket, which I hope shall always remind you. Please listen. Edict. All prior common names are hereby annulled, and shall be as dust. Come on, we have to go. Sincerely, your loving daughter, Afra Mishkin. Did you say Afra? As in Chief Interpreter Afra? Sorry, I don't know how to help you. Promise, I'm going to tell Oleg where you are. Did you say Afra, as in Chief Interpreter Afra? It's not clear whether she can understand you. Attention, please evacuate immediately for your own, so we'll no more go a-roving. Please help us. Alas, cannot exist. Afra, there's no time. Unlatched. Receipt. Should I offer the locket? This, I'm torn on. I really am actually torn on. Because obviously, they're very tortured in what the kind of existence they are. And it may offer a bit of solace. But will that solace even last before they start generating again? Well beyond such. Whereas if we keep the locket from Oleg, there's no proof. Not even a simple note anywhere that she existed. It is a she, yes. I know they petitioned for transition, basically, via the king. And I hope it was male to female and I'm correctly calling her a her. If not, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I recorded the other episode, so yeah. Anyways, if I bring it back to Oleg, there's at least proof that she existed. And in the information she just gave, she did specifically try to give the locket back to Oleg. It was one of her wishes when she was more coherent, at least. Like I said, it could offer solace now, but how long will it last? If we take it away from Oleg, will Oleg even remember that she ever existed? Like, this one locket was enough for both of Aphra's parents to unlock a memory about her existence. If we take the locket away, what are the chances that that one unlocked door in their mind shuts again? Like I said, I'm torn. I feel like we should give the locket back to Oleg. And that's what I'm gonna go with. And I'll explain it as we head back that way. You've done what Oleg asked of you, and he'll be waiting to hear what you found. But perhaps first you should try to learn the whole truth. What was the purpose of Project Horoscope? What role did it play in Aphra Mishkin's fate? And how is she connected to other Aphra that you met before? All this and more shall be answered next time on Dread Delusion Z. The only one who can answer these questions is the man whose name was stamped all over horoscope files. Sunil Khan, the King's Speaker. Okay, we got a bit of an answer there. But as I was saying, she's not technically dead as she is, but it seems like her mind and existence is constantly being washed over by the cipher of the Clockwork King and the logic of it. Like, it's constantly being forced down there, and her existence is starting to wane in a weird way. And I guess you could say that's what's happening to the corrupted. It looks like they're being not exactly erased, but nah, hold up. Let's pop down there. Curious now that I saw it. But their existence is ultimately being overwritten in a way by the various cipher spells and the various logic of the Clockwork King. You can still take damage even with it. You'll just survive the fall. Anyways. So, like, they're not dead, but at some point, when do they stop being who they are? And I think that's the point when they start really, truly corrupting and becoming a lot less docile, I guess you could say. Actually, let's just teleport back home. Pop that. So even though I could do that and arguably there's a chance it would keep her coherent and rooted in a sense for a while longer, but how much longer? Will she ever truly be able to be in existence outside of that corruption as a whole, or will she still slowly erode away compared to the person she once was? And if we give the locket to Oleg at the end of the day, at least to a degree, grieving's for the living, man. It really is. And the circumstances are, well, they deserve grief, to be honest. So, grieving's for the living, and I don't know if I can consider what the heck's happened to her being alive. Okay, Yasmin. You find Yasmin feeding her daughter porridge from a wooden bowl, singing a soft lullaby. She looks worn down to the bone. Yasmin glances in your direction. Hello again. Did you have any luck? I managed to find a doctor, but it's not good news. How are you doing, Yasmin? I mean you, not Nadja. Not yet. I'll let you know how I get on. I want to ask how she's doing again, simply because I am worried about her. I'm invested. I know it's probably going to be the same dialogue, but yeah, we're going to ask. How you doing, Yasmin? I mean you, not Nadja. She thinks for a long time before responding. When she does, her words are eerily calm. Yep, okay. Yep, same. Yep, the exact same. Okay. I managed to find a doctor, but it's not good news. You hand her the sheaf of papers that Prip gave you and begin to explain. From the way Yasmin listens, you can tell that she has plenty of experience maintaining composure in the face of tragedy. This time, though, it's not enough. Awkwardly, there. Offer her a handkerchief and wipe her eyes. Give her a silent hug. Yeah, give her a silent hug. When she's finished, she looks over at Nadja for a long time. Oh, my darling. How could I have let this happen to you? Yasmin looks back at you. I know you did your best. This is quite the dilemma you brought me. What do you think I should do? I'd send her to the Vision Works, that way you won't have to worry anymore. I'd keep Nadja at home, even if it'll be a struggle sometimes. I don't like that it's pushed on me, because ultimately, like I was saying earlier, this is her choice. She's obviously, and I mean obviously, working herself to the bone to keep Nadja going. She's facing the pure difficulties of a caretaker in their purest form. And it's paired with the fact that she didn't have any answers as to why this was happening until now. If she has it in her to continue being a caretaker, which arguably I think she might, especially with the few possibilities of being able to communicate again, I would argue to keep her at home. Because obviously this mother cares for her daughter deeply. She wouldn't be a caretaker in this scenario if she didn't. Like, obviously, with how dystopian this area is, she would have gotten rid of her daughter if she didn't have what it means to be a caretaker. Possibly the boon of the extra income from this, as well as slowly learning how to communicate with her daughter, may help alleviate the load of being a caretaker for her. That being said, she would be stuck constantly being a caretaker for her. And you can't demand and make that decision for other people. At the Vision Works, they have staff specifically for it. This is kind of like your friend coming to you and, hey, what do you think I should do about my geriatric grandmother or whatever? Like, should I put her in the nursing home, or should I be the one constantly caring for her? And it's like, dude, you need to decide that on your own, basically. I knew it was going to come down to the player choosing one way or another, but I honestly don't like that this bit is up to the player. I think the characters are world built enough that they should be able to make their own decision with something this heavy. I do like that something this heavy is discussed. Ultimately, it's not the player's choice, though, and that's what I dislike. I guess I'm going to lean towards keeping Naja at home, which sounds like I'm kind of determining her fate as well and being like, you're now forever to be a caretaker in a sense. And it's like, I don't think this woman would give up her child unless she outright had to. And honestly, I think it would be good to be able to be a part of the support group, but ultimately the Vision Works as a whole is more so looking for a profit than actually treating this illness as a whole. And although the support group would be nice, it's to what end? Being able to learn how the Dream Crown or whatever the apparatus works, and eventually being able to communicate with her daughter again may do a lot more than outright the support group. And it was not mentioned at any point that those in the support group for those facing the similar issue were allowed to do so. And I don't think Dr. Prip would allow such, considering the family members possibly communicating with those with this illness might affect his bottom line in making a profit. Let's be honest, the dude's probably a genius and able to make a lot of stuff. He's worried about profit right now. He does not care about the ethics. So I'm going to lean towards keeping her at home. Yes, you can't put a price on family. May not know how to care for Naja properly or bottle visions, but I can learn. King knows I've seen a lot of change in my life. Although it would be a lot of work. If my sickness flares up, I might not be able to keep the business going. We could easily end up back where we started without a penny. My heart tells me I should keep Naja here, no matter how long it takes for me to learn the vision trade, or how difficult it would be to take care of her. So I also want to note one thing. Love. Whether it's platonic, whether it's familial, whether it's romantic, love is not that moment of affection, lust, desire that we see a lot in romance films or anything like that. Love is the decision and the choice to push through bad moments and work towards good moments. It is usually a lot more conscious than a lot of people give it credit for. And this character has showcased she loves her daughter and she's willing to push through those moments for it. She's already done so when we were first introduced to the quest as a whole. Ultimately, I would possibly just tell her to sit on it. I would leave the paperwork as well as the other option and try to give as much information for her to make her informed decision as best she could. Ultimately, possibly try the vision trade and then just keep the paperwork if it becomes too much. Because I don't think there's any point where that paperwork would no longer be viable to have her be a part of the doctor's setup, basically. But this game is binary in how we're handling this quest. It's either one way or the other, so we're going this way. And if there's any way that I can still communicate with her, even if it's only through dreams, I want to take it, and I figured you would. Truthfully, though, it's moot. I don't have 120 coins to buy a Dream Crown from Vidal. I doubt I ever will. My neighbors have been a tremendous help, but there isn't that much cash in this entire tenement. I mean, I got that cash. Not for nothing, but I'm kind of loaded. I suppose I'll get in touch with this Dr. Prip and get into the process. What else can I do? What if I could pay you for the Dream Crown? The Vision's work is the right place for Naja. After all, wouldn't she want you to live comfortably? Very well, it's your decision. What if I could pay for it, man? Listen, I'm not going to go for every charm decision. Like, even I have a bottom line. What if I could pay for the dream crown? You can tell that Yasmin is conflicted about your offer. What? No. I couldn't possibly accept that. You've already helped so much. It's like you're not taking advantage of me. I'm offering. Really, I insist. Call it a loan if you'd like. No interest. Pay it back before the world ends. I don't have the money with me just now, but I'll be back. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't think I can afford it after all. Really, I insist. Call it a loan if you like. No interest. Pay it back before the world ends. She smiles a little, then looks up at you with tears in her eyes. Very well then. That will be enough time, I should think. It's coming a lot closer than you think. You got like 5 days. We're about to reach a singularity here. Whatever the outcome, you've helped Naja more than I could have asked. I wish I could pay you for your time, but well, perhaps this will suffice. This is the deed to our old family home, just outside Ferropolis. Technically, we need to petition the Clockwork King for a change of ownership. But since the militia have all but abandoned the countryside, you should be left alone. Yasmin, I can't accept this from you. Where's the house exactly? Or thank you, Yasmin. I can't accept this from you. I'm just trying to be a good person, and I didn't know that's what I was going to get. Oh, yes, you can. What use would we have for it anyway? Restoring that place is a full-time job. One for someone without a lungful of spores. Yasmin arches her eyebrows mischievously. Call it a loan, if you like. No interest. Just give it back before the world ends. I like you a lot. Okay. Where's the house exactly? Not far from here, off to the north. If you leave via the main checkpoint, keep going forward, you should find it on a cliff, overlooking the forest. Alright, thank you, Yasmin. This time her smile is warm and genuine. May you have more luck with it than we did. Awesome. Alright, guys, it's been an episode. A lot of twist, few turns, little bit of a hanky-panky right at the start, but not a whole lot. I think we're going to call it here. Possibly confront old Sunil over yonder next episode, but like I said, that's going to be a next episode thing. Did I ever go in this building? I don't think I ever went in here. What is this one? Wait, hold up. What are you looking at? Oh, yeah, maybe I did. Bucket house. Yeah, I definitely came in here. Okay, anyways, it's been fun. I'll talk to y'all in another episode of Dread Delusion or anything else on my channel. Till then. Ciao.